Facing and chasing the opponent is the main key to Wing Chun Kune.
You divert the opponent's force to the other side. And it can kill with one blow.
Sifu Ip Man once said that Bruce Lee was extremely diligent.
Actually, there are many varying views about Wing Chun Kune, as well as its name.
Previously, Wing Chun Kune was not that well known. Even I didn't want to learn it.
It's said Wing Chun Kune was created by Shaolin's abbess, Ngmoy, while watching the snake and crane fight. Her star pupil, Yim Wing Chun, passed it on to her husband Leung. He, in turn, to commemorate his wife, officially established the style of Wing Chun Kune. Wing Chun Kune's essence is in close-range techniques. The stance and moves are firm yet agile. Close strikes follow the opponent, emphasizing technical dexterity, focusing on using the right force to deflect, redirecting force away. Direct force is never used against an opponent.
Wing Chun Kune differs quite considerably from the other styles. Most martial arts styles have the fists placed at the hip. They only come up when you're striking the face. But with Wing Chun Kune, the hands and the feet defend together.
It really places emphasis on diverting the strikes and retaliating at the precise moment. Since its punches are close range, direct punches are of course the most effective. This brings out the best of Wing Chun Kune.
Xiao Lim Tao uses basic Wing Chun Kune. Masters of Wing Chun Kune begin by telling pupils the following. Success is impossible without the fundamentals. This also applies to everyday life. Xiao Lim Tao moves are neat and efficient. Extending, blocking, pushing form the three essential features. The right breathing is crucial. Apart from practicing stance, body posture, and also the hand techniques, the other vital component is to divert the opponent's strikes with your force, thereby using it against him.
Its characteristic is to work towards the center line, so it begins with the hand in the middle position to ascertain the opponent's middle line of attack. Open hand, block, and strike. These are the three main essential elements, and they're to be used with different defense techniques. According to some, it's based on spring dynamics.
Chum Kyu is the set of intermediate movements. By definition, it means locating the opponent's strikes. Simultaneous attack and defense form the major part of all of the moves. Making up Chum Kyu, you have turning stance, Xiao Lim Tao blocks, and step blocking techniques. Now, foot skills are introduced for the first time. This includes front technique, side technique, and angular footwork. Using these together, the effect is a sustained attack at close range, making retaliation difficult.
The real essence of Chum Kyu is mainly to change one's direction, turning one's stance in order to control the opponent.
With Chum Kyu, the two-way turning stance constantly places weight on the rear foot in all positions. This facilitates a kick.
Beauty is a technique that is not casually taught to every student. Beauty is Wing Chun Kune's advanced pattern, and almost every part of it comprises striking. This covers close, mid, and long-range attacks, its aim being agility and also releasing power. It may look gentle, but the power is fierce and explosive.
To give an example, I can use my hand. If I put my hand in such a way, and I block like this, then I can defend this whole area, from the waist up to the face, thus blocking the attack and retaliating with striking techniques. After you block, just strike out.
Rolling deftly, with direct strikes, is the aim of Wing Chun Kune. To teach this mantra, Wing Chun Kune uses the sticking hands technique, honing the reflexes of hands.
Sticking hands achieves 4 crucial objectives. The first is to refine and improve hand skills, then train a sense of perception and natural reflexes. Knowing when to exert a person's strength, using it only when necessary, or you hold back, or putting power in only one hand. Finally, the importance of good positioning. I mean a good strategic position that enables you to attack and defend all at the same time. So these 4 goals may appear distinct when I say them out loud, but actually they're to be utilized together.
Using mind force to land direct punches is the philosophy of Wing Chun Kune. And sticking hands is Wing Chun Kune's unique training technique. This mainly forges and trains the tactile senses of hands. So when in contact with an opponent's hands, the reflex becomes totally natural, and one can retaliate accordingly, without thinking. The instinct becomes swift to effectively and directly dispel blows from attackers. Sticking hands is split into 2 stages, either using one hand or both hands.
In sticking hands, when using a single hand like this, I'll use an open hand, just like this. And that's the inner block, and this is the outer. Okay, go. Practicing single sticking hands, it's always done with an open hand, whether block or strike. That's the single, and here it is using 2 hands. So you put your hand here, okay? Like this. See that? Like this. When that's learned, you move on to the rotational skill, the next level. And I press down his hands, then he blocks and we alternate. Just like this.
The wooden dummy is an important piece of equipment during the training of Wing Chun Kune. There are 108 movements. So it's called the 108 moves of the wooden dummy. The wooden dummy is designed to correct the pupil's body position and hand movements, or else to hone the sticking hands techniques, which are seldom encountered when fighting. It's said the wooden dummy was made due to the absence of a partner. The dummy was conceived for practice.
Its emphasis is to work on hand techniques, that as well as teaching good positioning. A while back, we spoke about four objectives, in which the last one is to train positioning. It doesn't matter whether we're talking about attacking or defending, it's just as important. So this aspect is trained by the wooden dummy.
The long pole. It is said that after Shaolin burned, monk Sam Duk escaped onto a troop boat. He passed the long pole to Wang Hua Bo and then Leung Yi Tai.
Usually, the 6.5 pole is it's around 8 feet long. When striking with it, each thrust forward makes one circle by the end of the movement. So then 6 strikes would be 6 circles. The half point consists of 2 different moves. First thrust, then stab. This move has half a circle, hence its name, 6.5 point long pole.
The concept is being an extension of one's arm. Its feature is leaning the body and level stance, emphasizing practicality.
The real use of the 8-strike knife is for your hands to be working to defend you. Because while you're blocking, the elbow's here. And so with the sword, the elbow sort of shifts here at the point of attack when you strike out. And so, all the hand skills get some leverage because of these special positions. Single hand with or without. The knife coordinates with. The other, you see, when this arm moves, the other one moves too. They move accordingly, together.
Sifu Yip Man is a grandmaster of recent times, and he also promoted Wing Chun Kune. He came to Hong Kong in 1949, adding much to Wing Chun Kune. Moving in 1968 to Wing Chun Athletics Association, where many students are trained.
Ever since he set foot here in Hong Kong, he's totally changed the way Wing Chun Kune is taught. Because one person can teach many students simultaneously using his methods. During the 20 years that he spent living in Hong Kong, he taught a lot of famous pupils who went on to make many movies, including Bruce Lee. All the while, he devoted himself to teaching. Although space was limited, every night the place was packed from wall to wall with people. He would practice sticking hands with each one. Everyone had a chance to practice with them. In those days, he was on the chubby side and liked to joke around a lot. He especially liked nicknames, making fun of people.
He used to describe Bruce Lee as extremely diligent, almost to the extent of being a little obsessed. He studied at St. Francis School in Hong Kong, and after school he would strike or kick or do something daring. Well, he was just walking down the street, going home. He just never cared what other people were thinking about him at any time. Well, as far as I am aware, the style that's called the intercepting fist has traces of Wing Chun Kune and Western fencing, using the front hand as the basis of your attacks. So it's lacking Wing Chun Kune's basic style. It's sideways. Soon after Bruce Lee's death, many martial artists claimed that style, and a great deal of films have been made in his name over the years as well. Almost everyone wishes they were Bruce Lee. He amalgamated Chinese Kung Fu, Wing Chun Kung, and street fighting techniques, and delighted the audience. In fact, with his influence, Chinese Kung Fu could be as effective as karate, and have the ability to kill an opponent with just a single blow. Bruce Lee was one of the very few people who brought Kung Fu legends to an all-new level, but total merit can't be given to him.